Ladies and gentlemen, woke is back. Okay. Superman is super woke. Woke is back in a big way. And everybody needs to step aside. Okay. Everybody that has an issue with how woke Superman is needs to step the aside, read the goddamn room. It's over. Let me tell you. Okay. Let me tell you. Woke is so back, it's not even funny. Woke is so back, it's not even funny. It's not go woke, go broke. It's go woke unless you want to be broke. Okay. Superman already is an alien, right? Like literally and figuratively. Like he is supposed to be, I mean, he's written by, I believe, like two Jewish immigrants at the time. Like that was the character that they created. He's supposed to be an analog for like a godlike deity. But also, on the simplest terms, Superman is supposed to be an outsider who's trying to do his very best and oftentimes misunderstood. And the entire movie is quite literally about that. Okay. Down to a degree that is like, I would say maybe a little not so subtle. Okay. Down to a degree where it's not so subtle at all. He is supposed to be the peak form of like perfect human, a superhuman, a Superman, if you will. And he is actively and desperately, the Superman movie is flopping hard box office wise. Wait, what? No, it's not. I don't know why you're just saying that. Anyway, it's the opposite. Muting to avoid spoilers? No, dude, there is no spoilers. This is a spoiler-free review, okay? I'll tell you when there is a spoiler part about it. But basically, yeah, here's a spoiler. Superman wins. Some of the things I really liked about it, some of the things I really enjoyed about the movie was how corny it is, okay? How corny they made Superman, because it's supposed to be corny. It's a comic book. So they have like all of the corniness of comic books directly baked into it. And I do think that James Gunn hyper focused on all of the side characters and did a pretty good job of uplifting and highlighting some of the side characters on the show, whether it be Crypto, whether it be, you know, the dog, the super dog, basically. Mr. Terrific was incredible. Probably like one of the best side characters in the entire franchise. Okay. Yes. The gun did not jam. Okay. James Gunn doesn't jam. James doesn't jam Gunn. And basically, Hot Girl follows you on IG. Yeah, I know. I found that out and I immediately followed her back. And I would love to have her on the stream. That'd be amazing. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But yes, Hot Girl was amazing as well. Green Lantern was amazing as well. And I'm not even talking about the major plot point, which is Netanyahu and Israel. If you think that this movie takes away or like pulls punches, if you think this movie pulls punches from criticizing Israel, it does not. It is an analog for Israel and maybe Russia as well, if you want to call it. You can say a little bit of both. But straightforwardly, it is like, it is the most obvious like Israel thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Okay. And r/Israel, the Redditors on Israel are very upset about this. But basically what I'm trying to say is every moment, every scene, every frame in the movie is framed exactly like the comic book. Okay? Like the incredibly corny, impossibly corny, kitschy characters that you see, exactly like a comic book. If you go into the movie looking for like gritty realism and like the old school DC style, like post Nolan dark DC, you're not going to get that. Okay. Do not look for that at all because that is not happening. It is not happening. There is no like gritty realism in this, even though there is one aspect of it that I also personally like that is a holdover from like The Boys, which is the impact that it has on real life people, like these sorts of massive battles. They definitely do show that a lot more than they do in the Marvel universe, where it's almost like a nod to how when these guys are fighting, like human beings are suffering as a consequence of that. But it also shows but it also shows that in a very real way, where I mean in a very comic book style way, because you'll see screens you'll see sequences where like regular people are just like eating, I don't know, like yogurt while like the city is collapsing in and of itself. And that is because that's exactly how it's portrayed in the comic books. And it's also supposed to be like something that is happening all the time, so much so that they're basically used to it. Okay. This is something that like the average citizen is used to, right? And you see the impact on humans in Marvel TV shows more than the movies, yeah. But it was fun. Yeah, James Gunn was like, we're gonna have fun with this. We're gonna have fun with this. Analogs to the real world, serious politics wise. Number one, the fictional country of Boravia, going and invading the other fictional country of what's the name of it? It's like kind of it's like a Asian country. It's like an Indian kind of name, but it's not. It's like very clearly Israel, Palestine. Jarampur, yeah. Jarampur and Boravia. Boravia is this like high-powered, high-tech superpower in the region that is invading this other country that is not armed at all. It is a literal, exact one-to-one analog to Israel, Palestine. Okay, that's what it is. Boravia is Israel, and Jarampur is Palestine. Absolutely, 100%. Anyone who says that that is not the case is absolutely coping. Even if James Gunn came out and swore on his mother's life that this was not an analog to Israel, Palestine, I'm telling you right now, they're just, it's lying, okay? Spoiling the movie first day after its release. What spoiler? It's not a spoiler at all. This is just like what is going on. The whole, first, it's a comic book. It's a comic book movie. There is no, it's like the expectation that someone is going to the main character is going to win. It's in the premise. I'm describing the premise to you, okay? And then the American weapons manufacturer relationship with Israel is directly explained, which is why I think it's a better analog to Israel than it is to Russia. Okay, that's why, because like this is straightforwardly America and American weapons manufacturers and the relationship that they have with Israel and what Israel is doing to Palestine and Palestinians. Okay. People try to cite the fact that the script was written pre-10/7 to say it's not about IP as though IP began on 10/7. Yes, I know that the script was written before, and maybe it was actually initially implemented to talk about like the Russia-Ukraine situation and how Superman would like save the Ukrainians. But obviously there is plenty of fill-ins post-October 7 that and plenty of scripting that took place post-October 7, but it doesn't even matter, okay? Anyone with two eyes and an active brain cell, like that can rub two brain cells together, will see that either James Gunn or someone in the writer's room straight up wrote it in a way where it is a one-to-one analog. Okay? It is a one-to-one analog. Script writing is hardly a magical event that changes from occurring. Some people don't understand how filmmaking works. Exactly. 1,000,000%. Dude, and you know it's real. You know that a lot of people have seen it because they're coping. Okay, a lot of the not the pushing Z chatters like the pro-Russia ones, but the other pushing Z Zionist, Z for Zionism, Andes online have been losing their minds over it. Okay. Even if James Gunn came out and told everyone this is not Israel Palestine at all, I don't know where you guys got that, I would not believe him. He could be like, no one ever touched this script. I'm the only person who wrote this. This is not about Israel Palestine. I would be like, nope. Don't even lie to me right now. It's cool, man. We get it. Sure, bud. Yeah. Cause Jarampur is just straight up brown. Okay. Israel is a white country with a direct weapons manufacturing ties to the United States of America, and the country that they're dominating is not a well-armed country that is fenced in, and it's brown people wearing like garb that you see in the region. They even have like AK-47s. Yeah, Boravia is mentioned as a U.S. ally on numerous occasions. Okay? You are out of your mind. It is crazy. It was the most Israel movie I have ever seen. Okay. Me watching Superman say Israel for 2 hours and 9 minutes. No, literally down to the bot farms. Like there are so many parts about this. Yeah. When in the black side, I was like, this is crazy. Superman scene that got me. When they showed an army of monkeys using computers to spread digital Hasbro to fuel the Baravian invasion of the native land is literally this. It is crazy. It is crazy, dude. The Netanyahu analog even says Baravia. It's not even a Netanyahu analog. I think it's a Ben-Gurion analog for the record. He is not Netanyahu. A lot of people are saying it's Netanyahu, but I think it's Ben-Gurion. This is what David Ben-Gurion looks like. This is what the leader of Baravia looks like. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Hold on. Come on, give me a still. Do you have a link? I don't think it's Benjamin Netanyahu. It's a compilation of a lot of different things. But it's definitely Israel. There's a little bit of Russian influence in it, but there's a lot of Russian influence in Israel too. Okay? It's not Netanyahu. It's David Ben-Gurion, dude. This is from the movie. Okay, please tell me that this is just chance. Okay, I mean, this scene right here, I almost had tears, dude. Call me a baby all you want, but when they do this, I'm like, this is the most. I almost cried. I had tears in my eyes watching this. It's hard not to see how this is inspired from the ongoing genocide in Gaza, and I really don't know how to feel about it. This person says, on the one hand, it's disgusting and insensitive to use an ongoing genocide for entertainment when you not once explicitly stated your intent is to depict or bring light to it. On the other hand, anything that helps enlighten the average burger muncher is good, I guess. Yeah, I'm on the second side of this. Okay? I'm on the second side of this where 1,000,000%, 1,000,000% that a major blockbuster hit in the United States of America that came out, and it's like a big budget Hollywood summer blockbuster production, going to be massively successful. It's already massively successful. And it's literally 2 hours and like 10 minutes of Israel the entire time. 2 hours and 10 minutes of Israel's doing a genocide. Superman needs to save Israel doing a genocide. Or rather, Superman's inspiration causes other superheroes that otherwise would turn a fucking blind eye to Israel doing a genocide in Gaza, causes them to literally take action that they previously said they would not. And all the while, the American government is angry at Superman for interfering in the affairs of Israel and Palestine. Get the out of here. Superman is literally an immigrant that is always trying to do his best. And every single person is like developing tremendous enmity and animosity towards him for being an immigrant that wants to save the planet from harming children, from harming people. Where at a certain point, he just straight up says, dude, I just don't want people to die. Lois Lane automatically hits the Hasbro lines because she is a journalist at the end of the day at the Daily Planet, which is like the New York Times. And she straight up is interviewing Superman and she just starts railing into him. And I literally wrote it down in my notes. I was like, Lois Lane, of course she's doing Hasbro. It was so crazy. It was so crazy. Saying this is disrespectful and rather than helpful to the cause feels like peak lip shit. Feeling bad about having to see it and think about it. Yeah, no, I don't think this is like harming. It wouldn't hurt if the director just came out and said, George Lucas said, obviously the rebels are Viet Cong. Yeah, except George Lucas said that later, not immediately after, if I'm not mistaken. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, the IDF literally almost shoots a child, the child that's putting up the flag before the superheroes intervene. I'm serious right now. I'm telling you right now, down to the fact that like there are active bot farms created by weapons manufacturers that have Defense Department contracts that have a direct relationship with Israel that are literally creating a social media environment where everyone is talking about how Superman sucks and how that has the capacity to shape public opinion for a immigrant trying to do the right thing. I'm sorry. It was all there. Okay. It was slapping you in the face. It's not like even remotely subtle, but it's actually, it's as subtle as a heart attack, but in a good way, because that's what comic books are supposed to be like. Okay. That's what comic books are. So what does the S stand for? It's not an S. On my planet, it means free Palestine. Yeah. I mean, it's basically what this was. politics in my comic book movie, yeah, they've always done it. It would hurt Hostile, but the conflict is good because it lets people accidentally agree with it before they realize what they're agreeing with the depiction of. Normies and Zionists not noticing what it is until they are told after the fact will mentally have a much larger impact. Yeah, sure. So, yeah, prisoners getting shipped away into a secret prison, like all of it is like, and getting tortured in this secret prison by this secret prison that works at the behest of both Israel and the United States of America, created by weapons manufacturers. The entire Luthor Corps is Anduril and Palantir combined. Lex Luthor is literally a Palantir style figure. And yes, he has like silly ambitions, like his moral compass is like guided by envy or whatever, but that's just like the silly comic book hero version of it. But it's very obvious that there is like what he says as the major motivation here is still is not as important as like what is going on in the movie. Okay, he has to still like abide by he has to still abide by like the personal ambitions of Lex Luthor from the comic books, but the very real the very real analog for Lex Luthor in the real world is straight up a Palantir style, Anduril style group of defense contractors. And what I mean by this is you can see it. You can see it, dude. You see it with the Hawaiian shirts that all the defense contractor engineer nerds wear. Literally. Like, let me see if I can show you. Like, here, look. Like, dude, if you guys watched it, okay? If you watched it, then you know this is everywhere, okay? Lex Luthor's ambitions are damn near identical to the real world analog of like both Palmer Luckey and also the real world analog of like Peter Thiel. And every single one of the scientists in Luthor Corp that are straight up working on, every single engineer that's working on the site is wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, he even goes as far as to say Superman groomed us, which I thought was really funny. Lex Luthor as a Peter Thiel tech bro freak is excellent. Peter Thiel couldn't even answer yes to the question, do you want the human race to continue? Yeah. And I don't know. This is one thing that I thought about, okay? Throughout the entire movie, I was thinking, is the real world stranger than fiction at this point? Or is this movie doing the most to try to make it seem like it's the real world? Or are our real world villains in American society basically like comic book villains? And I think it's a little bit of both. I think at this stage, the real world has gotten to a degree of strangeness that basically feels like we're in this dark comedy. Like we are in a comic book. It is not subtle any longer. Okay? Comic books were made from past evil humans. I know, but like the current state of existence has gotten to a degree where we straight up have comic book style like silly ass villains. Also, Ben Shapiro did not like it. So, that's everything you need to know about this. Okay. After having watched the movie, it's so obvious why he didn't like it. Yeah. No shit. You can say soy. Oh my God, Hasan, you're reading too much into a comic book or whatever, but it is whatever gets normies to like get on board, whatever emboldens normies to feel more confident about their opinion, about saying what they feel, saying how they feel is good. Okay. Lex Luthor rage bait Superman. Oh, that was another part. Yeah, that was there was the Lex Luthor rage bait moment too. I mean, it was just great. It was awesome. How do these sorts of critiques of power get greenlit? I don't know. I guess it's like there's enough plausible deniability in it. There's enough plausible deniability baked into the discourse that it makes you can kind of get away with saying it. But yeah. Did Superman yell "def to the IDF"? No, he did not say that. The CEO of Elba Systems literally looks like Lex Luthor. I mean, he's just bald. But James Gunn is the co-CEO of DC Studios. Yeah, but I'm just genuinely surprised because I didn't know Gunn was like that. I didn't know James Gunn was like that. Okay. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Like, I did not realize that James Gunn would be out here doing a straight up 2 hour Israel movie where one of the most iconic American superheroes of all time throughout history would straight up beat the doors off of Israel. Okay. Like, and then get arrested by the American state because he is interfering in the affairs of defense contractors. Like, that's crazy. And then also arrested and treated like an immigrant. Like, straight up, they're like, oh, this immigrant, he's not one of us. He's an alien. He's an alien. He's a scary alien who wants to kill us. Meanwhile, all he's trying to do is make the world a better place. Bro, there's literally police brutality against Superman. What are we talking about? It is the most woke movie, and it's not even remotely subtle. Do you understand? It is not even remotely subtle. Not to mention the billions of dollars in oil deposits, a reason for Lex wanting half of Jarhampur. Yeah. Anyway, to trick an executive, all you got to do is lie, chat, say it's about Russia or about Vietnam or anything historically good. They let you do it. Executives are not actually capable of smart. Just because they are rich, they're easily fooled. Yeah. You must have missed Gunn's Suicide Squad trilogy. Yeah, I'm not like I'm not super big into like all the other stuff. Yeah, remember when they tried to cancel James Gunn, by the way, for making the most obvious jokes? Like, I can't believe it. James Gunn fired by Disney after a long history of pedophilia comments spotlighted. Like, there was a time and place where on the internet, people would try to make like edgy, like dead baby jokes, basically. And it's a cringe ass era for sure. There's no defense of it, but it was so obvious that it wasn't like, it wasn't like a sincere attempt to normalize anything like that. But they basically, I think it was like, what's his face? In 2018, in the peak of woke era, right-wing Nazis would unironically comb through people's like tweets, early tweets, to be like, this is what he really likes. You know who else actually got hit by the same smear job? Mike Cernovich was doing this. They did it to me as well. At the time at the Young Turks, but I wasn't big enough that it like mattered to anybody. But I remember it because they did it to Sam Cedar. They did it to Sam Cedar and they got him fired from MSNBC for a brief moment, only to be rehired afterwards. Yeah, Uncle Sam is one of the best examples of this, where they right wingers were cynically weaponizing like old tweets and a refusal to understand like what the actual joke was. Trying to do that thing where it's like, oh, my ideological opponent is actually joking, but I don't believe it. I think it's sincere. This is a sincerely held belief. Sam Cedar has had a joke tweet about how, like, if my daughter is going to get R-worded, that better be with a person who has a deep understanding of mise en scene, talking about criticizing Hollywood's defense of Roman Polanski. Like, it wasn't a pro-pedophilia joke. It was literally an anti-pedophilia joke, and yet that was enough. It was actually criticizing Hollywood for still defending Roman Polanski. Yeah, Mike Cernovich did that against Sam Cedar to limited success, and he tried to do that against James Gunn as well, and it was successful. Like, Disney dropped James Gunn, but James Gunn is back. In any case, yeah, mise en scène, sorry. But it is pretty funny to see like conservative reactions to this. Conservatives, when a movie's about being a good person, judging people based on who they are as a person and not where they come from, and not invading other countries. That's literally what it is. It's, I guess, like the environment has gotten so hostile to like any sort of expression of woke that it is basically counterculture once again to have like a super basic plot point of a person who just goes, I'm a good person and I want to do right by others. I don't want children to die. And then conservatives would be like, I hate this. This is the worst message of all time. Speaking of conservatives and the reaction to super woke, let's look at the pro-Israel groups and how they felt about it. Thoughts on the new Superman movie, r/Israel. Have you all seen the new Superman movie? I find it so disrespectful and distressing that a superhero created by two Jewish artists is now being used to promote anti-Israeli messages to the world. The entire story of Superman is believed to be based on Jewish history with strong parallels to Moshe. I can't understand how this was greenlit at a time like this with global anti-Semitism on a rise. Without giving too much away about the film, I like that this person is still like worried about spoilers at this point. There is a highly advanced fictional country, an ally of the U.S., that is attacking a defenseless neighboring people who live behind the fence in order to colonize their land. It's like, bro, if you understand that that's what Israel is doing, why are you still defending Israel? Like, if you watch that and you recognize that this is Israel versus Palestine, how the if you literally watch the movie and you recognize that it is a direct one-to-one analog to the country that you're supposed to be defending here, that should cause you to pause, take a moment of self-reflection here, and just decide maybe it's indefensible what the country that I want to defend is doing. You know? It's so strange that the initial reaction here is to basically go, this is Israel and I must defend Israel, the villain of this story. Okay? Of course, the invaders are portrayed as white while the victims are predominantly brown. And of course, if Israel speaks out against the film, it would be seen as, well, if the shoe fits. Pro-Pallies will literally take any movie or anything else from a pop culture right now and make it about whatever message they're trying to promote. Andor is just one such example of this. I wouldn't take it to heart. They'll do this with Fantastic Four as well. Just you wait. I've seen them do it for King Caesar from Godzilla. So anything can be corrupted to suit the pro-Pally message. I don't need to see that shit. If I want to see a Superman, I just go to reserve duty with actual superheroes and fight Hamas. You are Hamas. Pro-Pali. You are pro-Palestine. There is no P. There is no P in the Arabic language. On the Jon Stewart podcast, Tony Gilroy literally compared the Gormans to Hamas like 2 days ago. Yeah, except he's also been wishy-washy about Andor's message as well. If we're keeping it $150, I think Andor had a lot more based writers in the writers' room than just like Tony Gilroy. I think he just basically signed off on it, and now he's just trying to manage his Hollywood career by consistently being like, I don't know if this is like Hamas or Hezbollah. Please don't say that. I don't know how that happened. Andor's also incredibly on the nose for sure. But the funny thing about the creators of Superman, Joseph Shuster and Jerry Siegel, were both born before 1948. Yeah, exactly. There's literally no evidence in any media, be it games or movies, has ever had any political message. Of course not. Especially not Superman, classic. I really wasn't expecting much and chalked it up to hype or a liberal application of the Israel analogy to any imperialist expansion war, but the movie quite clearly recreates visuals from the 2018 Gaza border protests. Superman is anti-Zionist and leaves no room for doubt. Yeah. Here's a letterbox review. Yeah, holy is rips. As a noted modern CBM hater, I genuinely think this is the best one. It has such a unique visual identity that I absolutely love. That's the other thing. The color schemes. Okay? It is very clear, like the characters, the color schemes. The very fact that Superman is wearing a diaper, okay? All of that is deliberate. It pops. It's visually stimulating. It's fun. It's kind of cheesy, exactly in the way that a comic book is supposed to be. It is an incredibly faithful comic book adaptation in a way that it's supposed to be. It doesn't try to do gritty realism. It doesn't try to do any of that like post-Christopher Nolan Dark Knight style, like Zack Snyder style, like DC shit all. It's just straight up fun, and it's just straight up popping, and it's campy. Like there are times when it's campy because you can tell, like when you look at Lex Luthor's crew, okay? When you look at Lex Luthor's crew, every single person in Lex Luthor's crew is a goon. They're henchmen. They're straight up comic book henchmen. They're not trying to be cool. They're not trying to modernize it in a way. And the movie itself actually like exists in this unique universe where like there are certainly moments where like there's modern stuff, there's smartphones and shit, but it's also kind of like not modern, if that makes sense, like the outfits and whatnot. And I think like it just exists in like this unique universe, a comic book universe, a surreal comic book universe. Okay? It's both retro and modern at the same time. Mr. Terrific was amazing, for the record. Absolutely amazing. One of my favorite. Hawk Girl, I loved. And I'm not just saying that because she's a Hasan head. Okay. I didn't even know she was until someone in my community pointed out that she was following me. But she was amazing. She had the best moment in the movie, for sure. Yeah, there are smartphones, but then there's also like a store that sells like CRT, old school televisions. Isabella Merced, yeah. So I guess Gunn was honest when he told Bassem Youssef they dropped him for a change in the script and not to silence him, based change in the script, I might add. Oh, Bassem Youssef was supposed to be in it? But yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see. I thought this was a really good take about why it's so much more vibrant compared to Nolan and Snyder's. Oh, I seen this. Yeah. Current political climate and economic dread creates a space needed for bright and whimsical media. Yeah. Seriously, what they were doing in the 2010s, so glad colors are back in CBM's comic book movies. If I tell you the real reason, you're going to tell me I'm reaching. No, I think so too. Like, it's not gritty at all. It is so colorful. Colors pop out. It's great. It's fun. I loved it. Also, Hasan Abihed worked in the VFX unit on the film. Hell yeah. Another thing that James Gunn did that I think is like not even for Israel, it's just like for making better movies, was that I think they're shelving Wonder Woman, or at least Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, which does make a lot of sense. And that's not even on some like Israel, let's be real. That's just to save the franchise. Khalil, no, you can't be having Gal Gadot anywhere near that production, dude. The new DC universe cannot have a Wonder Woman that is ass cheeks like that. People need #hope back. We're going to reach Obama era levels in 2028. Yeah. Like, I'm fine with like Henry Cavill coming back as Superman at some point, even though I really like this new Superman. I think he's great. But outside of that, it's like, you know, put someone else on the Wonder Woman tip. It's so bad. Yeah, not Wonder Woman, but just Gal Gadot, the actress, is out. Here it is. When James Gunn and Peter Safran became the DC Studio co-CEOs, they canned a third Wonder Woman film starring as Gal Gadot set in the present day. It's about time someone stopped an Israeli bomb. Nice. I mean, she's been owned into oblivion so much. I saw haters of the movie saying they made Superman into Hasan, which is insane glaze if you think about it. I mean, I'll take it. Melissa Barrera would be perfect. Yeah, I think so too. Here, you can hear it. You can hear this gif. It's so iconic in the worst direction possible that you can literally hear her saying it without even watching it. Khalil, no! I'm so glad everyone's on the Gal Gadot rage train. Yeah, how woke is Hollywood going to make this character? Dean Cain criticizes new Superman movie. The director of the new film about the Man of Steel has been criticized by some right-wing commentators after saying Superman is the story of an immigrant. It's literally what it is. That's what Superman is. What the fuck? The idea that Superman is not this. Like, why is Superman woke is so stupid. It's like saying, why is Captain America anti-Nazi? Like, comic books historically have had a liberal association for sure with their politics, with their immediate politics, but it's one that is like very blunt. It is not subtle. Comic books are supposed to be like this. Comic books are supposed to be woke. That's how they were started. It's a bunch of progressive nerds that have like made these universes in the way that they in the ham-fisted and not so subtle approaches they have to their own personal politics. So it's like, it just doesn't make sense. Here, look. I mean, look. But this is him, by the way. This is literally Dean Cain's Superman. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at
Superman. Emily Stevens with Immigration and Naturalization. We just need a quick look at your green card.
Green card.
You are an alien, are you not?
Superman, I'm afraid until we get this cleared up, I'm gonna have to ground you.
That's woke too, man. Like, that's woke. That's woke. This was doing woke shit. INS is or ICE before ICE existed, chatters that don't know. Oh man, I can't believe Superman is woke. It sucks because his Superman was good too. He's just brain broken now.
Superman, Emily Stevens.
Actors, writers, and everyone working on movies, a gay nerd theater kid. Of course, movies are going to be woke. Exactly. A second order effect of this movie is it even has normie film podcasts like The Ringer's Big Picture talking about Israel Palestine, which even they admit is a net positive. Conservatives hate it because it's not escapist enough. Like, I am not a firm and committed believer. I am not a firm and committed believer that like movies that are woke are going to make culture woke overall, and it's going to lead to like positive material change in the world. I think culture is a reflection of our material realities, but it doesn't hurt to have like good messages in movies. I've never been the type of person that says like, why is this movie not sanitized in the way that I want it to be? You know what I mean? But I do think that a big part of reality is also showcasing the horrifying nature of defense contractors. That's real. Like, I'm not the type of person who will be like, sanitize movies, don't show like any sort of, you know, sexual assault or anything like that. That's a real part of the existence, okay? That's a real part of the universe. It happens in the real world. Movies are supposed to be a reflection of reality. And it's not always supposed to be in the direction of like, this is good and this is bad, okay? But as far as like Superman goes, yeah, of course it's going to be blunt. It's never not been. It's never not been blunt. It's always been blunt. Also, look at this little article here. Superman poisoning American children. Irate Nazis claim. Berlin, April 24th. Thus, Schwarzenegger's organ of Adolf Hitler's elite SS guard today denounced the American comic strip Superman, drawn by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Things don't change, okay? Things don't change, ladies and gentlemen. You know, some of the actors in the real world might be a little different, okay, for sure. But ultimately, you know, you always have like powerful fascists. The Snyder movies are bluntly right-wing too, but these guys didn't complain. Yeah, history repeats itself. This is also funny. Superman isn't trying to be political. We just have real-life supervillains now. This is something that I also thought about as well. How was David Cornswet? Amazing. He was fantastic, by the way. He was fantastic. Snyder movies aren't right-wing. BVS opens up with a U.S.-backed coup in Africa set up by Lex Luthor. He was awesome. Yeah, a Philly boy through and through. I have proof that James Gunn knew what he was doing. Can the mods give the link? Okay, you have to subscribe to be able to link, to get linking privileges. Okay? All I'll say is Hawkgirl does something amazing in the movie. And one of the parts about the movie that's like really awesome, aside from, you know, the whole like Israel points and even like the bot farms that they have implemented against Superman to rage bait Superman over and over again for like trying to do the right thing, is I mean, I don't know. They just don't hold back at all, man. They do not hold back at all. And shouts out to Hawkgirl once again. You're glazing him to undermine your arch nemesis, Henry Cavill, who's a real gamer. That's true. Does Hawkgirl have a name? Hawk Girl.